Where's the mirror? I need to make sure something is reflecting this shade. Hello. I'm Julika Kufane. I'm here all the way from Paris, France. My drag is all about the unseen, horrific, and dark. What you can expect from me is spooky runways, a cool demeanor, and gentle shade. I'm not actually a mean queen like you might expect. I dislike drama, and I just want to get along with people.
Julika notices she's the first in the workroom.
I'm very nervous being the first one in the room. A lot of pressure is going to be on me, and each queen is going to be sizing me up as they enter. The other queens aren't going to think I'm weird, right?
From grapefruits to melons, it's time for this princess to prove her dominance. Hello, Canadians. I'm Sonia Nevermind, the rightful heir to the Novoselic royal family. I'm very honored to be here competing on Cartoon Drag Race Toon Madness. My drag is very polished and graceful. But I also sometimes slip my hobbies into my performance. I've always had a fascination with drag, among other things. And I'm here to bring joy and make some friends.
Sonia walks up and greets Julika. Julika shyly says hi back. Sonia tells Julika she loves her aesthetic. Julika says thanks, and the room grows quiet. Sonia tells Julika she's an actual princess. Julika says that's cool. Sonia asks what kind of drag Julika does. Julika says she's into drag with an edge. She tries to always incorporate the macabre into her aesthetic. Sonia tells Julika that she's really into that.
I think Julika is lovely. I find her aesthetic particularly fascinating. However, I noticed she was rather quiet. I hope I haven't done something to offend her. Maybe I just don't seem that cool, but I'm sure we'll get along.
I just froze up. Sonia probably thinks I'm weird because of that. It's not that I'm ungrateful being here, I tend to struggle in meeting people. I always worry about things others don't. And when I get like that, I'd rather not be seen. Which is ironic, going on Drag Race and not wanting to be seen. Sonia seems nice. She has a very formal aesthetic. But there's something I can't put my finger on about her look, something that conveys this depressing feeling. I like it.
Prepare yourselves now, you clods, because this gem's taking the crown. I'm Peridot, the brain of the crystal gems. Among my studies of the earthly media known as television, I stumbled across Cartoon Drag Race. It's been a curiosity of mine after the disappointing revival of Camp Pining Hearts. So, I decided I would get into cartoon drag. With my superior intellect, I will dominate this competition and bring home the crown. Lapis and I need more supplies for our meat morphs anyway.
Peridot approaches the other queens. Peridot asks what they're supposed to be. Sonia tells Peridot that she's a princess, and Julika just says she's dark. Peridot asks what dark is supposed to mean. Julika says she's into horror and the macabre. Peridot says, so you're a spooky queen. Sonia asks Peridot what she's about. Peridot says she's the star. Julika laughs and points out Peridot's wearing a star.
I'm not sure what I said that was funny, but I'm not sure how to see Sonia and Julika's drag. Sonia's very formal and regal, but also rather plain. And Julika's not doing anything too impressive, but spooky queens can be rather expressive, which can make them significant threats in the competition. I'll have to keep an eye on them, to see what they're capable of.
Peridot seems rather unique in her aesthetic. I'm not sure whether that will work on the main stage.
Oh. This will be fun. I'm Kitty. I'm mainly known for being on the Redonkulous race. I competed with my sister Emma, and we went very far around the world. My drag is all about performing. I like acting and comedy. And I'm generally always down to try something new. Being here on Toon Madness is a dream, and I'm going to have a lot of fun in this competition.
Kitty runs over and cheers to finally making it on Drag Race. She then tells Sonia her dress looks pretty. Sonia thanks her and tells her she's a real princess. Kitty asks, like Zelda? Sonia says yes, but Julika says she probably shouldn't compare herself to Zelda, because they saw how that played out on season 11. Peridot asks Julika if she knows Zelda and Palantir are separate people. And Kitty says that's the joke. Peridot says, oh, I didn't know that. And the queens laugh.
These queens all seem nice so far. Which is great, I don't need any drama. Not with having to put up with the ice dancers for a full season. Peridot's got a fun charm. Sonia's pretty and kind. And Juleka seems cool. I think I'm going to like it here.
Kitty's nice, and very bubbly. But I think her entrance is rather plain. I hope she's got more to show, because I think we'd get along.
Yes, I've got legs. I'm Hunk. I'm known as the legs of the Voltron dynasty. Princess Allura and Keith are my drag family, and Lance is one of my best friends. I'm known for my fashion, like most of the dynasty. But I'm more than just a case of drag nepotism. I'm a versatile and well-rounded queen. I'm here to represent for the big girls. A lot of us are given such a bad reputation and made the butt of a lot of jokes. I want to show drag isn't just for the skinny queens. I'm going to be strutting right up to that crown, legs and all.
Hunk says hello to the queens. Kitty turns around and screams. Juleka says ouch, and asks Kitty what she's screaming about. Kitty says that's one of Princess Allura's drag sisters. Peridot says, another one.
Of the Voltron dynasty, 3 queens have competed before. Princess Allura won the crown in Season 1. Lance was a pork chop, and Keith came in a close second. The Voltron dynasty has gone on to prove themselves to be formidable at the competition elements of Drag Race. If Hunk is anything like his drag sisters, he may be a nuisance for me. That said, all I can see about Hunk's drag is that he's put a lot of focus on his legs. Yawn. From my analysis of the 11 regular seasons, and 4 All-Stars seasons of Cartoon Drag Race hosted by RuPaul. Being branded based on your body might make the hosts love you, but being the BBL of the season won't win you the crown.
Sonia asks if Hunk's legs are real, or just padding. Hunk smiles and says they're all real. Juleka asks Hunk what type of drag he does. Hunk says he sews. Kitty cuts him off, now tell us something we didn't know. The queens laugh. Hunk says he's a versatile queen. He comments that he mainly is the rock of the Voltron dynasty. Peridot asks what he means. Hunk says he's the one they turn to when they want to talk about their problems. Kitty says he's already campaigning for Miss Congeniality, and the queens laugh.
I dabble with a lot, but I'd say I mainly focus on fashion and comedy. I can be congenial. I mean, I am congenial. But I didn't just come here for a sash. I'm here for the crown. It would be a big deal to bring another crown back to the Voltron dynasty. I want to show we Voltron queens are not to be underestimated.
It was nice to meet Hunk and all. But let me tell you, when the excitement settled down, you could feel the mood in the room shift. We went from having a nice chat with each queen to thinking this might be the winner right here. I mean, Keith didn't win. But you know what I mean. Now my question, are we really intimidated by Hunk, or are we intimidated by his drag family? Hunk's got some big shoes to fill.
Did someone order a trombone player? I'm Jim Morales. I'm proud to call Katic my home. I've worked hard to become a local legend there. I'm a comedian, true as they come. I do a lot of physical comedy and the always perfectly timed joke. I'm here to do one thing, and it's the one thing you can expect from all my shows. It's to make you laugh. I'm going to get this laugh train going all the way to the top.
Jim asks if these are the auditions for the clown car, and the queens laugh. Hunk tells Jim it's nice to meet him. Kitty asks Hunk if he knows Jim. Hunk says no, but Jim was one of the queens who inspired him early on in his career. Sonia asks how long Jim's been doing drag. Jim tells them he's proud to say he's been in this business for 20 years. He then adds, be kind to your elders, let him win his challenges in peace. Peridot says he needs the peace because of the bone spurs. The queens laugh.
Jim is a funny queen. I've been to a few of his shows. He's one of the best at making people laugh. However,
Jim seems nice, but his aesthetic. There's a reason he's just a local legend.
This is kind of mean. But I'm not gagging.
I'm fortunate to have been blessed with good health. And jokes aside, I'm not that old. But after 20 years, it's nice to be able to show off my drag on TV. These queens are children compared to me. And it's time for me to show the kids how it's done.
Hello queens, the top bitch is back.
Blake Belladonna. What is she doing here?
Now, you must be excited to see me. With the shocked look on all your faces. Blaney unfortunately had a scheduling conflict. And for that reason, I will be filling in today as your host.
Now Blake's a nice queen and all. But I stand by that you shouldn't have to be the best lip syncer to win Drag Race. Drag isn't just lip syncing. And I don't think Blake gets enough credit for the things she can do that isn't lip syncing to a song.
Now you may have already noticed some of the stations have been claimed already. That's because 6 queens already entered the workroom just last week, and one of them has already sashayed away.
What a gag. To think I hadn't even set foot in this workroom, and the queen was already gone. That's one girl I won't get to meet until the season starts airing.
For today's Maxi Challenge, I want to see your most sickening fashion. That's why for today's Design Challenge, category is, Who is she? Ruby Edition, you will make a look that utilizes only red, white, black, and yellow. However, that's not all. You may only use 2 of these 4 colors in your look. To determine which colors you may use, you will each randomly pull a chip from this box. The chip you pull will determine the materials you have to work with.
So whichever chip I pull will determine what colors I have to work with. I'm hoping I draw something with yellow honestly. Yellow is my color.
I predict Jim will struggle the most with this challenge, judging from his apparent lack of fashion sense. But I'm struggling to determine which of these other queens will join him in the bottom today. No matter, for I will overcome this obstacle, and secure my place in the top.
We will draw chips in the order you entered. So first up, Julika Cuffin.
White and yellow. I was really hoping for anything with black. I'm going to have to get creative with how I use these colors.
Sonia Nevermind.
Black and yellow. Now I think these colors will work for me. I'll be able to make something nice with them.
Peridot.
Black and red. An interesting combination. I'm not sure yet how I will use this color combination. But I will manage to overcome this challenge.
Kitty.
Black and white. Oh, I got a good color scheme. Black and white go great together. I know I'll be able to pull out a win this week.
Honk.
Now I've done the math. There is only one chip left that has yellow. I am really hoping I manage to pull it out. Red and yellow. I am so happy. I know exactly what I want to do with this.
And finally, Jim Morales.
White and red. I am a bit nervous for this challenge. But I've made my own looks before. And I've got my trusted tool, the hot glue gun.
Now remember, the goal is to make a look that best represents your drag. Good luck racers, and don't fuck it up.
Julika begins sketching a look in her notebook. Sonia comes over and asks if she can work at her station. Julika agrees, crumbling up a sketch. Sonia asks if she's struggling. Julika tells her she got the 2 colors that are the exact opposite of her drag. Sonia disagrees and tells her that bright colors can be scary too. Julika tells Sonia if she has any ideas she'd be glad to hear them. Sonia goes quiet, and Julika gets to work on another sketch.
If I can't bend the colors to my drag, I'm going to have to bend my drag to the colors. I don't have time to test a million concepts. So, I'll shift my focus.
Honk is going over his materials and sketching a look. Jim approaches and tells Honk that if he needs any help, he has a hot glue gun handy. Honk thanks Jim but tells him that he can sew. He also adds if Jim wants him to sew something for him, he can just come over and ask. Jim thanks Honk and tells him he likes to do things on his own. But if he needs a hand, just let him know. Honk thanks him and says he'll keep that in mind.
I think Honk's got a lot of spirit. I'll admit I don't know much about him, but I love the determination to accomplish this task. I swear these design challenges were designed to trip up us larger queens. But I won't let that stop me.
I don't think it's a surprise to say I know how to make a look. That's kind of the expectation people have of the Voltron queens at this point. But I really want to win this challenge. I know people aren't expecting me to do well since I'm a big queen, and I want to show them just how hard I can serve.
Peridot is sketching out a bodysuit in her sketchbook. Kitty glances over and asks her if she thinks a bodysuit is really okay for a design challenge. Peridot tells her that the bodysuit is just going to be the first layer. Kitty tells her to make sure she has enough time for that, and Peridot tells her it can't be that hard to make a bodysuit. Kitty stops dead on her sketch and turns to Peridot saying, "You've never made a bodysuit before."
I can list my proportions perfectly. Sure, I've never sewn before. But I'm a technical genius. This craft will be elementary to me. I'll create a look that will leave the judges' jaws on the floor.
That's a lot of work for someone who hasn't sewn before. Peridot might want to think smaller. It's not about having a lot of everything to make a great look. And if she runs out of time, she may end up going out in just a bodysuit.
Julika is rigorously sewing together a look. Sonia is cutting out some fabric. Hunk and Kitty come over and ask how they're doing. Sonia says she's having fun with this challenge. Julika just says she can't talk, she's sewing. Kitty asks Sonia what she's going for. Sonia shows Kitty her sketch. Kitty asks Sonia what the idea is, and Sonia says she's a very regal queen. So she wants to show off her princess aesthetic. Hunk asks Julika if she needs any help. Julika thanks Hunk for offering, but she's got it covered.
Sonia seems like a nice queen, but I don't know if she's ever actually made a look for herself. I think she could go further with her aesthetic.
Maybe I should have accepted Hunk's help. I don't have all the time in the world, and I've got a lot to do for this runway. But I've just got to make it work now. I've just got to keep sewing. No time to talk, just sew and paint.
Jim is busy hot gluing some tulle around the neck of his dress. Sonia walks over in her dress. She tells Jim his look is cute. Jim asks her if that's her look. Sonia says yes, but she softly admits that her look hasn't turned out how she wanted. Jim tells her he can help her spice up the look. Sonia asks if he's sure he's got his look to work on. Jim tells her what kind of queen would he be if he didn't help the kids out. Sonia thanks him and goes to change out of the dress.
It was kind of Jim to help me with my look. I'm very grateful, and I think we'll be great friends in this competition. I just hope our looks are good enough to keep us out of the bottom.
Sonia seems like a good kid. So, I decided to help her. She seems to have the basics down. She just needs to add some flair. And I know how to add flair with this hot glue gun.
Peridot is struggling while sewing her bodysuit. Kitty asks her if she needs help. Peridot says she can do it herself. Peridot then picks up her garment, and the stitch immediately comes undone. She then turns to Kitty and says yes please. Kitty giggles and then says let's get to work.
This is completely embarrassing. I'm totally losing my image as a professional. Having to ask for help. What's Lapis going to say? I can already picture it now, her saying, "I don't care." Oh right, she probably isn't going to care.
I'm going to go over the basics with her. If I'm going to help her, we're going to do this right.
Kitty explains they don't have the time to do everything Peridot wanted, so they're going to have to scale back to something efficient. Peridot then makes an excited cheer and grabs her notebook. She then sketches something into her notebook and shows Kitty. Kitty tells her she likes it and it will work.
I may have bitten off too much to do by myself. I don't want to be a burden to anyone, but maybe Hunk will still be willing to help me.
Julika approaches Hunk's station and asks if he's still willing to help her. She then starts to add she's willing to help him with his look or give him materials, but he cuts her off and says she doesn't owe him anything, and tells her to bring her look over here and they'll work together. Julika thanks him and the two begin working together and bond.
I'm glad I could help Julika. I like being there for others. If I can help put a smile on someone's face, that makes me happy. It's part of why I do drag. I like being able to support and help my friends, and even friends I've yet to make.
I'm very thankful to Hunk. I don't know what I would have done without him. He's really nice. I just get nervous approaching people about things. I think I'll be able to show my drag off on a positive tonight.
Hello, I'm Blake Belladonna, and this is Cartoon Drag Race Toon Madness. Please welcome our resident judge, Bill Anderson. Bill, since when have you been a blonde?
I think you need to have your eyes checked. I've always been blonde.
Tonight, the queens were tasked with designing looks that best represent their drag, using a limited color scheme. Racers, start your engines, and may the best drag artist win. Category is, Who is she? Ruby Edition.
Hunk, Julka Kufane, and Kitty had a great runway.
For my Who Is She look, I come out in this long yellow side slit dress. I use the red to accent the sides of my frame. The entire look is stoned. The yellow goes straight down the front of this cartoonish cutout, giving the illusion of my having this slim Barbie-like figure. I have a V-cut window going down the front, and it's lined with this lovely ruby trim. And when I get to the end of the runway, I pull back my skirt, and show the judges all this leg. And as I turn around, the words legs are sewn into the back of the dress.
For my Who Is She look, I come out in this large, poofy, white jacket. The jacket is snatched at my waist and opens front slit showing off my yellow legs. I twirl, taking off the jacket, to reveal the entire inside is yellow, and my yellow catsuit. The bodysuit has various stripe cuts along my sides, some filled with white fabric and some left empty. And I'm just letting the judges see my fierce fantasy.
For my Who Is She look, I come out in this floor-length front-slit black dress. I have these fluffy white straps. One going over my shoulder, the other to my side. I got this white bow wrapped around my waist. And this flowy dark cape trailing behind me.
Sonia Nevermind, Jim Morales, and Peridot had a good runway.
For my Who Is She look, I'm wearing this medieval dress. The dress is yellow, but the hem and corset are black. I've tied my hair up in a long yellow ribbon. And I've decorated the collar in these black gemstones. I want to make sure the judges see all the flair Jim helped me add to the look.
For my Who Is She look, I come out in this floor-length red glitter dress. I've added some white tulle around my neckline. And I even added a white flower to the front of my dress.
For my Who Is She look, I come out in this black cloak. I throw it off to reveal this black and red tuxedo. I am wearing this black front slit skirt. The outside is black, and the inside is red. My blazer is red, and I'm wearing this big red bow.
Alright, thank you queens. We will now begin the judges' critiques. Starting first with, Hunk.
I think this was a great way to start the season. This dress is beautiful, and it's clearly designed with you in mind. You should be commended for your attention to detail. From the stoning to the cuts in the fabric. And with all those legs. It's clear you knew what you wanted to do this week, and you achieved it.
Hunk, there's something I really love about this look. It's giving me pageant, which isn't something I really think about with the Voltron dynasty. This looks like it would be a simple look to make, but in actuality the details are impeccable. The usage of the color was also wise, as it enhanced the illusion of the look. The proportions are just right, and everything about it makes a statement. This is how you do well in a design challenge. Great job this week.
I just want to thank Julika. Back in the workroom, she helped me finish stoning the look.
Thank you, Hunk. Sonia Nevermind. This dress is cute, and while I'm getting the sense of a medieval vibe to it, I'm not sure if this was the best representation of your drag. Because I feel like I've only gotten a limited view of who you were as a queen.
Sonia, I think a medieval gown is limiting yourself. I'm sure there's more to you than just a dress. In fact, I do like the way you've accessorized this look.
I do have to thank Jim for helping me do some of the accessorizing. I will admit, I don't make most of my looks. But I hope you see that I've got so much more to show.
The look itself is fine, and you've got the basics down. I just want to say you were all brought here not just to show off your drag, but to grow and improve your craft. I do appreciate you're willing to learn. I just want you to be more creative next time. Thank you, Sonia.
Peridot.
Peridot, I think while this look isn't anything extraordinary, I really feel I got to know a lot about you. In your audition, I got the idea of you as this smart queen. But there's a certain charm you have. I could tell this look really suited your personality. You're a bit of a show woman, aren't you?
The design is my own, but I have to thank Kitty. She helped me get focus and she helped me put some aspects of this look together. And yes, I like to be the star of the show.
Oh wow, everyone is thanking each other. Has that happened before? Anyways, I love that you like to be the center of attention. After all, that's one thing you should want in this competition. I will say the look itself is basic. There's not anything particularly stunning here, but it's also well executed. And I think you did accomplish the assignment. Kitty. First, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Actually, no one helped me with my look. But I was happy to help Peridot and any queen who asked.
Well, that's a first so far tonight. Kitty, this was very polished. And it had a lot of charm to it. It's clear to me you have style, and you know what looks you look good in.
To add on to what Blake said, I think the elegance comes from the simplicity, which is smart because it shows you know what you're doing. Now I've got my eye on you, and I like what I see.
Julika Kufane.
Anyone you'd like to thank?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank Hunk, because he helped me with finishing this jacket.
Julika, this is how you make a statement. I can understand this challenge took you a bit out of your comfort zone. But I do appreciate that you managed to adapt and put together this look.
The pairing of a large puffy jacket with a bodysuit was a wise choice. And it made up for the fact you came out in a bodysuit for a design challenge. And the way you commanded the stage, I am living for you. I think this was a great night for you. And finally, Jim Morales.
I'd like to thank Sonia. She was very helpful with helping me size the dress.
Almost everyone thanked someone on this stage. That's actually crazy.
Jim, I think this is a nice dress. But if we're being honest, it's also basic. It's just a red dress with some tulle and a flower. And I feel I have to dock you because it doesn't tell me really anything about your drag.
I was just trying to show off that I don't sew.
Now that's funny, and I think it's alright if you're not a fashionista. But I feel the issue is presentation. I feel you focused on making something simple, when you could have focused on making something funny or unique. There's something I do like about you, Jim, but tonight wasn't the best showing. Now, I've made some decisions. Honk. Tonight, your gown left the judges starstruck. Kitty. Tonight, your dress was a work of art. Julika Kufane. Tonight, you had all eyes on you. Kitty. You were safe. Honk. Julika Kufane. Congratulations, you have both won this week's challenge.
Oh my god. I can't believe I just won my first challenge on Cartoon Drag Race Toon Madness. I honestly wasn't expecting this. I'm just so happy.
It's great winning a challenge. I have to maintain the image of the Voltron dynasty after all. And I got to do it with Julika, which is fun. I'm really looking forward to this season.
Sonia, never mind. Tonight, your medieval fantasy was not fit for the ball. Peridot. Tonight, your tuxedo moment did not take the world by storm. Jim Morales. Tonight, your charisma did not match the drapes. Peridot. You were safe. That means Sonia Nevermind and Jim Morales. I'm sorry, but you two are up for elimination.
Oh no. This was not my hopes for Toon Madness. I don't want to go home first. It's unfortunate because I like gym, but I am not ready to leave yet.
A part of me knew I would probably be in the bottom since it was a design challenge. But I'm not a quitter. I've waited 20 years for an opportunity like this, and I'm going to show the judges why I'm a local legend.
2 queens stand before me. Ladies, this is your last chance to impress me and save yourself from elimination. Good luck, and don't fuck it up.
The lip sync song is Come to Your Senses by Alexandra Shipp. Sonia and Jim flopped the lip sync.
I've made my decision. Meh. Sonia, never mind. Shantae, you stay. Jim Morales, you are a hidden gem, and now it's time for you to go out and show the world that. Now, sashay away.
You see, I have competed on Toon Madness before, but I'd rather not talk about it.
Queens, I just have one thing to say. I love that you all were ready to help your fellow queens. But this is a competition. Remember to put yourself and your drag first. And now if you'll head back to the workroom, the other queens are waiting for you.
I count 5 new clods who should just quit now and save themselves the humiliation.
The only clods here are the 5 bitches who think they're going to take our spot in the competition.
So, Kitty, I see that you're here. But not for long.
We may be sisters, but that won't stop me from cutting up your wigs, bitch.
Wait. You are sisters.
This season seems like it's going to be fun. Are you sure I can't stay on and watch how it plays out?
Sorry, I've gotta keep that spot open for Bill. But thank you for showing up.
Whenever you need me, just call. It's been an exciting week. Thank you for tuning in. And stay tuned. Toon Madness.